From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2305, this is Ham Nation Headlines for Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. We begin this week with scenes of devastation in the Philippines.
A super typhoon, locally known as Odette, made landfall on December 16th, taking an unusual path that led it to Siargao Island, a major tourist destination. A wide swath of the archipelago fell victim to heavy rain and gusts of more than 200 kilometers per hour. According to a draft report from the Philippine Amateur Radio Association, more than 300 lives were lost with, quote, devastation beyond description, end quote. The report said that in the days before landfall, National Traffic System Chairman Romy, DU1SMQ, ensured that daily roll calls were taken of all amateur districts to measure stations' readiness. The Office of Civil Defense Region 7 and other agencies monitored the HERO emergency network frequency on 40 meters as well. Members of PARA-affiliated clubs handled emergency traffic along with health and welfare messages even as their own home QTHs were battered by the typhoon.
Newsline anchor Jim Dameron, N8 TMW reporting. While most people look to the skies on Christmas Eve, NASA had its sights looking upward on Christmas morning.
The most powerful space telescope to date, the James Webb telescope, made its way into space the morning of December 25th with a liftoff from French Guiana en route to entering Earth's orbit. Its mission is to study universe's earliest galaxies while exploring our solar system. It was a project of the Canadian Space Agency and the European Space Agency. Its orbit destination is expected to be about 1 million miles from Earth, where it will deliver its first images starting in about 6 months. Gregory L. Robinson, Webb's program director, described the anticipated delivery as, quote, awe-inspiring images that will capture our imagination, end quote. According to a New York Times article, it was expected to offer, quote, a new keyhole into the earliest moments of our universe, end quote. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
One day later, China celebrated its own high-profile launch.
China's latest satellite is on a mission to collect high-resolution images of our planet's resources. Launched Sunday, December 26 from the Taiyuan Satellite Launch Center, it's designed as a tool for land and disaster management and is equipped with 2 high-resolution cameras as payloads. Piggybacked on the satellite was an amateur radio CubeSat, China's CamSat XW3, with a UHF CW beacon and GMSK telemetry data transmission. The CubeSat is also carrying an experimental thermoelectric generator for use by high school students. It has an uplink frequency of 145.87 and a downlink of 435.18 MHz. The CW beacon is on 435.575 MHz. From Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Jim Dameron, N8 TMW, Dave Parks, WB8 ODF, Graham Kemp, VK4BB, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe, I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3, we'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.